Performance USA, the greatest entertainers in America, as requested by you, the fighting men of the United States Armed Forces throughout the world. Command Performance, presented this week and every week till it's over there. Calling the khaki and the navy blue, the merchant marine and the Coast Guard, too. And listen, Marines, that goes for you, for it's command performance time in the USA. So get on the beam there, mister, while the stars of radio, stage, and screen shortwave the answers to those thousands of swell letters you're shooting in. And now meet the commanding officer of command performance tonight. It's front and center for your master of ceremonies, Walter Pidgeon.
Thank you, Don Wilson. And hello, fellows. In Hollywood, we often go out on location for the studio to shoot a picture. But you're out on location for Uncle Sam shooting the works. And here in Hollywood, where the mystery film was born, the biggest mystery today is, where do you fellows find the time to write those swell letters to command performance? But we're not going to try to solve that mystery. We're just going out to answer your letters. Letters from the gang at APO 867 that say, "Give us the Mills Brothers," and letters from an RAF camp somewhere in England that say, "How's about the Mills Brothers?" The answer to all that mail is, "Hold that Tiger," and the Mills Brothers.
Hold the tiger, 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 hold the tiger. Where's the tiger? Where's the tiger? Here's the tiger. Where's the tiger? Here's the tiger. Where's the tiger? Here's the tiger. Hold the tiger, 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 hold the tiger. Where's the tiger? Where's the tiger? Here's the tiger. Where's the tiger? Here's the tiger. Where's the tiger? Here's the tiger. No, 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 no. Hold the tiger.
Thank you, Mills Brothers. And thanks to Leo Forbestein and the Warner Brothers Studio Orchestra, appearing through the courtesy of Local 47. Incidentally, to D.S. of Warner's over in Teddington, Middlesex, thanks and have patience. And now, fellows, for old 69, somewhere in the islands, for 3 Americans who wrote on June 22nd, not far from London, for Johnny, Punchy, and Doug at CAPO number 3, and for Sergeant DMD and that fighting number we can't mention at APO 867. We bring you a travel lecture by that fluttery madcap, that screwball mistress of zany chit-chat, Miss Vera Vey.
Thank you so much for that charming introduction. Oh, my, what a handsome man. Remind me to take you home with me tonight, Mr. Sparrow.
The name is Pidgeon.
Pidgeon? Well, Sparrow Pidgeon. This is one case, brother, where I'd be glad to get the bird. I haven't had so much fun since the time I spent a weekend in the Tunnel of Love. By the way, Mr. Pidgeon, are you married?
No, I'm not, Miss Vague.
Oh, well, neither am I. Isn't that a coincidence? I say, isn't that a coincidence?
Yes, it is.
Well, you see, when two people who aren't married are thrown together like this, it often leads to something. Of course, I won't press you.
Beg pardon?
No, but I'd like to. Mr. Pidgeon, would you like to go to the Hollywood Bowl with me this evening about 11:30?
But at 11:30? Why, Miss Vague, at 11:30 there's nobody there.
You got the point quickly.
Well, we'll see about that later. Right now, don't you think it's time to get on with your lecture on travel?
My lecture?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that. My lecture. Well, tonight I thought I'd discuss the educational advantages of travel. Mm-hmm. It's a fascinating subject, don't you think so?
Oh, yes.
So wanderlusting.
Just the word I would have used.
Oh, it's a small world, isn't it? Now, let's plunge right into our subject here, shall we? You know, Mr. Pidgeon, I'm quite a traveler myself. A few years ago, I took a boat trip to England. Lovely trip and a perfectly wonderful boat.
Mm-hmm. Did you travel first class or tourist?
Oh, first class, of course. On the day we sailed, the captain came up to me and said, Miss Vague, you can have the free run of the boat with one restriction. We'd rather you didn't mingle with the cattle.
A very excellent precaution, I think.
Yes, I thought so, too. But to continue with my lecture, you know, I spent a good many months in England, and it's a very interesting and cultural spot. Now, as we now all know, England is an island.
Really?
That is, it's full of inhabitants. That is quite a number of people live there. Where am I?
As I remember it, you were discussing the English.
The English?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's right. Thank you.
Not
But I was going to say that I feel that England and America have a great deal in common, Mr. Pidgeon, especially musically.
Musically?
Yes, I think that's due to the alliance of the Anglo-Saxophone peoples.
Undoubtedly.
Yes. Now, as you know, England is full of interesting edifices, colleges, churches, art galleries, and so forth. I remember while there, I went to see we saw some beautiful old,
I beg your pardon?
It's very foggy in England, you know. We really didn't see a thing.
Did you see the Thames?
The Thames? Oh, yes, certainly I did. I sat there watching it for hours on end. You've been over there, haven't you, Mr. Pidgeon?
Oh, yes, I have many friends in England. In fact, I got a letter from there this morning.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what did it say?
Why? What do you want to know for?
What do I want to know for? You're the most inquisitive person.
I'm inquisitive. No, Miss Vague. This letter was from a young lady in England. She wrote for financial advice. It seems she just lost 2,000 pounds.
Oh, my goodness, she was heavy, wasn't she? I see what you mean, yes.
Miss Vague, you don't seem to know very much about England. Suppose you just skip the subject and tell us something about some other country you visited, if you don't mind my suggestion.
Oh, certainly not. I value your suggestions. No one in the world could have a higher opinion of you than I do, Mr. Pidgeon.
Why, thank you.
I don't think you're so hot. Guess that'll bring you down a keg. Now, Mr. Pidgeon, let's not quarrel anymore. I didn't mean it. I think you're a charming person. Let's be friends, shall we? I wish I had a pipe of peace.
I wish I had a piece of pipe.
Well, bless your heart.
Can you tell us something interesting about Switzerland? Or was it too foggy there, too?
Oh, Switzerland, yes. Yes, I went there, but I didn't care much about it. It's nothing, but a lot of mountains.
Well, don't tell me you didn't like the Alps.
The Alps? Oh, indeed I did. They were the nicest people I met on the whole trip.
Of course, while in Egypt, you went up the Nile, didn't you?
Oh, yes, all the way up. And isn't it a lovely view from the top?
You know, Miss Vague, I went to Egypt myself a few years ago and visited the pyramids.
Oh, that's pearls.
Yes, you know, they were literally covered with hieroglyphics.
Weren't you afraid they'd hop on you? My goodness. I see what you mean. Yes, but truly, I was very, very much impressed with the Sphinx. It's a beautiful piece of architecture. I just sat right down there and wrote a lovely poem about it. I do say so myself, and I wonondered if you'd care to hear it tonight, Mr.
Well,
Pidgeon.
it's very kind of you, Miss Vague, but
thank
I'm
you
afraid
very much. I knew you'd love it. Here it is. I'll read it to you. No one knows just what she thinks, O solemn image of the Sphinx. 'Tis to Egypt we must give our thanks for that early wonder named the Sphinx. With myrrh and incense, burning punks, we sit before the lovely Sphinx. It's a little rough, but you see what I mean. Thank you, Mr. Pidgeon.
Thank you, Vera Vague. And now, men, here's a letter from one of Uncle Sam's businessmen in khaki. The business, bombing. His name is Ralph, and Ralph gets his mail at APO 937. And the man who's going to read his letter of July the 5th is none other than Johnny Weissmuller. Come on out here, Johnny.
Thanks, Walter Pidgeon. And may I see the letter?
Here it is, Johnny.
Thanks. Let's see. Dear Command Performance, my buddies and I get a tremendous kick out of our big show. But for a long time, I've been anxious to hear one special voice. The famous jungle call of Tarzan. Hey, that's me. So, if you will do me this one favor, I will appreciate it very much. Signed, Ralph. Well, I'll be...
Well, Tarzan, what are you going to do about it?
Do? Listen, brother. Just let me back off so I won't blast the mic. Tarzan's gonna call his buddy, a bombardier with Uncle Sam.
Thank you, Johnny Weissmuller. And now for a former Portland woman living in Southampton whose 6'7" son is somewhere in the Middle East, for a certain Army shoemaker at St. John's, for Private Ray and the Bunker Buds in Hawaii, for the Army nurses and Private ALG at APO 922, and for all of you who have put in orders for another helping of America's great singing sensation. Command Performance gives you a tune you all know, and the Merrimacs.
On your old gray bonnet with the blue ribbons on it, and we'll hitch all Dobbin to the shed. Through the fields of clover we will ride to Dover on our golden wedding day. Put on your old gray bonnet with the blue ribbons on it, and we'll hitch all Dobbin to the shed. Through the fields of clover we will ride to Dover on our golden wedding day. Put on your old gray bonnet with the blue ribbons on it, and we'll hitch old Dobbin to the shed. Through the fields of clover we're gonna ride to Dover on our golden wedding day. Put on your old gray bonnet with the blue ribbons on it, and we'll hitch old Dobbin to the shade. Dee-wee-da, dee-wee-da. Through the fields of clover we will ride on to Dover on a golden wedding day. Put on your old gray bonnet with the blue ribbons on it. And we'll hitch old Dobbin to the shay, old Dobbin to the shay. Through all the fields of clover, we will ride on it over on our golden wedding day. Through the fields of clover, we will ride to Dover on our golden wedding day.
Thank you, Mary Mac. Well, fellows, there's a very special girlfriend of yours on the command performance tonight. And before she does her big song, we'd like her to shortwave a few words to you. Miss Mary Martin.
Thank you, Walter Pidgeon. And hello, fellas. Greetings to Corporal M.E.H. at 8PO 955. And man, don't get off the beat this time. Hello, Provencher. How are things somewhere in Hawaii? And say, Saki, the best to you and the gang at Guantanamo Bay. Hello to Jack at 8PO 941. And Jackie, consider that complaint practically taken care of. Hello to Fort Randolph. Love to you fellas in Africa and India. My best to New Caledonia. 73s to a hut full of Jersey Irishmen in Australia. And to all of you, thanks for those wonderful letters. And here's a little number for you, Ta-ra-ra boom-de-ay with the Max Tear chorus. A sweet tuxedo girl you see, queen of all society, fond of fun as fun can be when it's on the strict QT. I'm not too young, I'm not too old, not too timid, not too bold, just the kind you'd like to hold, just the kind for fun, I'm told. Ta-ra-ra, boom-de-ay, 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 ta-ra-ra, boom-de-ay. I've been pretty pally with all the boys from Artie-Shaw Valley. I have torn a herring with Mr. Whiteman and with Mr. Weddy. Dr. Black of NBC could swing a symphony for me. But the most amazing boy I know is the one they call Calypso Joe. A blushing but be no sense. Papa said it's big expense. Women say I have no sense. Gentlemen say I'm evening. With this song I do conclude. One is strictly understood. Fond of fun, I'm not rude. Though not bad, not too good. Ta-ra-ra, boom-de-ray, de-ray, ta-ra-ra, boom-de-ray, ta-ra-ra, boom-de-ray, ta-ra-ra, boom-de-ray, ta-ra-ra, boom-de-ray, ta-ra-ra, boom-de-ray, ta-ra-ra, boom-de-ray.
Thank you, my pretty Mary Martin, and thanks to the Max Terror Chorus. And now, men, In answer to your letters all the way from the Golden West to the Far East and from the Arctic to the Equator, Command Performance presents one of Hollywood's leading ladies, who is also Hollywood's leading lady in the sale of war bonds. By worldwide command of the AEF, lovely Marlene Dietrich.
Yes, sir, fellows. In the worldwide spotlight of Command Performance, it's lovely Marlene Dietrich. Marlene Dietrich and Walter Pidgeon in an intimate drama of love and life in a Hollywood drive-in. The scene, any one of Hollywood's streamlined drive-in restaurants. The characters, a beautiful waitress and a guy in a car. The waitress, Marlene Dietrich. The guy, Walter Pidgeon. Lights, action, camera.
Hey, sister, how about a little service?
Good evening, sir. Will you step inside or eat in the car?
Oh, I'll eat in the... Hey, where did you come from?
I beg your pardon?
You're out of this world. You're beautiful. Gorgeous. Say, I can get you in pictures.
How interesting. Have you tried our applesauce? Now, look, I'm a busy girl. Are you going inside or are you going to eat in the car?
I'll eat in the car. Breadcrumbs are good for the upholstery.
Okay, mister. One order of breadcrumbs for the upholstery. Anything else?
Yeah, how about a date tonight?
No soap.
We'd be sensational together.
What makes you think so?
With your sugar and my tires, how can we miss?
Now, look, this is a restaurant, not a casting office. What do you want to eat?
What do you suggest?
I suggest roast beef and gravy. But from the looks of your tie, I see you've already had some.
Pretty wise, aren't you? Remind me not to leave you a tip.
You don't look like the kind of a guy who has to be reminded.
Look, lady, I didn't come here to be insulted.
No?
No. If I wanted to be insulted, I could have stayed home and read my fan mail.
Very funny, very funny. Now, what are you going to have?
Let's see. I'll have number 3, the tenderloin all Salisbury Ox Champagnons.
The tenderloin à la Salisbury aux champignons?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 hamburger. Hang a rose on it.
Say, you're kind of cute. Seriously, gorgeous. Haven't you ever thought of going into the movies?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm going tomorrow night.
No, that's not what I mean. Hasn't anyone ever told you that you have Anne Sheridan's eyes?
Madeline Carroll's hair, Hedy Lamar's figure, Dietrich's legs. And what'll you have for dessert?
With all that staring me in the face, sister, who wants dessert?
Sorry, Mr. Wolf. Red Riding Hood isn't interested.
You've got me all wrong, baby. I'm with Epic Pictures. I'm a talent scout.
What a coincidence. My brother's a Boy Scout.
Then do your good deed and tell me your name.
Marie?
I'm Steve Merrick. Bet you thought I was going to tell you I was Darryl Zanuck, huh?
Oh, no. That's Darryl Zanuck over there in that broken-down jalopy.
You don't say.
Well, maybe I don't, but he does. And that fella eating pickles in the Chevy. He told me he's Sam Goldwyn.
Oh. Who are those 2 guys in the bicycle? The Warner Brothers? Now, look, baby. I'm serious. I can guarantee you a part in pictures.
Not interested.
Then what did you come to Hollywood for?
To be a waitress.
What?
I came here to be a waitress, not a movie star.
I can die now. I've seen everything.
There's nothing wrong with being a waitress. People think waitresses just chew gum and sigh over Walter Pidgeon in the movies. They are not all like that.
No, not all of them chew gum. I said not all of them chew gum.
Look, it's a living and I like it.
But what a life, dishing out hamburgers and ham sandwiches all day. It must get so you can't look a piece of ham in the face.
Yes, but in your case, I'll make an exception.
Lady, do you realize what I'm offering you? A picture job, the greatest career in the world.
If it's so great, how come you're not in pictures?
Well, as a matter of fact, I used to be, sort of. I was a photographer's model when I was a baby.
You used to pose for pictures when you were a baby?
Sure. I used to pose for those talcum powder ads, you know.
Why did you give it up?
Well, I wanted to get my face in the picture, too.
can't imagine why.
Well, if you could have seen the pictures, you could imagine why.
Now, what do you want with a hamburger?
Lady, I'm on the level. I'm offering you a job at Epic Pictures at $200 a week.
I'm not worth that much.
Nobody's worth that much, but this is Hollywood.
No, thank you.
You're crazy.
Crazy like a fox.
You could be crazy like a mink coat. You realize the glamour you're passing up? Ciros, Macombo, arc lights, previews, double features?
What's so good about double features?
You can't come in the middle of both pictures.
Say, that's not bad. You know, you're kind of cute.
I am?
Uh-huh. Where did you get those big eyelashes?
Oh, well, I've got a fella down in Cuba who makes them up for me. Look, let's face it, sister. You and I can make beautiful music together. And right now, I feel like Toscanini.
No kidding.
Yeah. How about a date tonight?
I hardly know what to say. Unless it's no.
Oh, Miss Van Aster, studio wants to get some more publicity pictures. Move away from that tall jerk and hold the tray up a little higher.
Okay, Charlie.
Hey, what about my hamburger?
Out of my way, buddy. That's Marie Van Nester.
Marie Van Nester, the movie star? Holy smokes.
That's right, Mr. Talent Scout. I'm just getting some experience for my new picture, Driving.
And I'm getting some experience, too. Do you have a doghouse handy?
No, but here's your hamburger. And as long as you and I are going to have a date tonight, do you mind if I join you?
Not at all.
Hey, Joey! Another hamburger.
I don't know how we're going to get along, Miss Van Ester. You see, my hamburger has an onion on it.
I'll fix that. Hey, Joe! Hang a rose on it! A big one!
Well, men, as Hitler said when he saw the blockbuster bomb come down at him, that could be a signal that time's about up. And so, on behalf of all of us who appeared on Command Performance tonight, many thanks to you for inviting us to your big show. This is Walter Pidgeon speaking from the USA, and thinking of a certain group of men somewhere west of the Greenwich Meridian and south of the midnight sun. Men who have watched Fat Herman's boys come down out of the midnight sun and fixed it so they didn't go back up again. Those words came from one of your letters, you know. Our big universities have turned out many men of letters, but only men like you can turn out letters like that. Good night, fellows, and good luck to you.
That's it, men. But keep pitching those letters in the Command Performance in care of this station. And all you star players will come up to bat for you again next week and every week. Phil, it's over there. This is Don Wilson saying so long from a very good friend of yours, Uncle Sam.